All right, on a little ride today, and I was reading this morning that John Kerry, he's a politician here in the U.S., and the U.S. made a deal the other day with the Taliban to exchange 5 Taliban for 1 U.S. soldier who went AWOL. So they let them go, and John Kerry said that they'll probably be killed with a drone strike. In other words, they didn't do anything that caused a death sentence until they were left free. And as soon as they were let free, that's a death sentence. Now, I remember this kind of thing happening in World War II. From what I read, this was very common, that you got shot or killed for any reason. And it seems to be that we're going to repeat ourselves again. We're going to go right back to that horrible time when we thought that one group of people were different from another and that we had to exterminate them. But John Kerry has to be the most scummy politician I've ever seen, who gives a death sentence to somebody for him letting them go. John Kerry's the one that came up with the deal. So I don't know about you, but this stuff is just really sickening. It's disgusting. And the only reason it's happening is because we, the people, let it happen. We're the ones that made the Taliban. They used to be called the Mujahideen or something like that. I don't think that's quite the right word, but that we created the Taliban. We sold them weapons and we told them what to do, and then of course they get away and they no longer pay attention to the U.S.'s orders, and then they're suddenly our enemy. I just, well, anyway, this is really cool. The fog is being made right here in this little cove area, and then the wind is blowing it up the hill. Right now, I wanted to tell you about the drought here in California and the rest of the U.S. It's getting more and more severe. Yesterday we had 109-degree temperatures just to the southeast of here and a little bit to the north. We got up into the high 90s. Today, another repeat. Right now there's a little bit of fog in, so we're a little cooler. But that won't make any difference later on. It'll be scorching. Let me go show you what's happening with the drought here in the U.S. Okay, there are other ways we can find out what the drought's doing by looking at whether the drought has improved or gotten worse throughout the U.S. Let's take a look at that map. Okay, we'll start up in the northwest. Really, the only improvement is a little bit here in Texas, but the brown area is where it's getting worse. As you can see, there are some places that are getting worse. So California has set an all-time record high winter temperatures and an all-time record year, 2013, hottest year ever in California history. Now let's go check out a graph on the board. Okay, let's start out in 1900. The temperature was, pretty low, and it started to rise and fall and rise and fall. Then in 1920, we reached our all-time low temperature record for the U.S. Then in 1935, we reached a very high plateau of temperatures, and of course that was at the beginning of World War II. Then during 1989, we saw another high, and then it sort of just slowly kind of creeped up. But in 2013, we're way up here. That's quite an increase. So if you average everything out, it does this. So that's just a little example of extreme weather we're starting to suffer throughout the planet. As I've shown in previous videos, the U.S. isn't the only one having extreme temperatures and extreme weather events. It seems to be worldwide now. So I wanted to thank everybody for their comments. Again, last video I wasn't able to see any of the comments, and right now there's one appearing and the rest of them are gone. So I hopefully you guys can see all the comments. And I appreciate all the thumbs up and the sharing and the whole thing. If we can try and get some word out here that things are needing to be improved. But what can you do about it? Plenty. Stop supporting these corporate politicians who refuse to do anything. Just don't do it. Regardless of what party, if they're getting corporate donations, they're a bad party, period. You're not going to get progressive legislation in any kind of House of Representatives or in the presidency or the whatever your type of government hierarchy is. It won't happen. You have to get rid of the corporations, and that's the only way we're going to keep this thing under control. So right now it's close to 100 degrees. I'm sweating to death. I've had enough. Had a nice long ride. The fog was nice and cool for a while, but it quickly evaporated, and now we're back into the 90s and 100s. And this is just the beginning.